Hi, I'm Liz Granberg-Jerome from Gypsy Dreamer Quilts, and I'm here to talk about Measure for Measure, block number 11 for the This Way or That second Saturday shop sampler for Quilters Paradise in Baldwin City, Kansas. And this month, Measure for Measure is an interesting block in that it's an embedded friendship star within a larger friendship star. So it's a little bit complicated, but not difficult. So here's a few tips to go with Measure for Measure. So you're going to be making one set of half square triangles with your blues and whites, and one set with your red and yellow. Now your red and yellow are not going to be laid out in the typical pinwheel type format. So you're going to have to watch what direction those points are going to make that friendship star, the little red one in the center, go the right direction. So those are going to go together, press all your seams to the yellow, and then make them into the center unit. Now on your pieced half square triangles that make the two outer points of the embedded star, you're going to be working with templates. For this one here that I've started, you've got a long blue strip and then half of a red block. On the red block, on the template C, I definitely recommend that you trim off the little corners to match the template on both ends. What this does is that sets those corners into the corners of the blue block, of the angles, so that when you sew that, everything's going to nest together and you'll be good to go. I would not. Now I did on this one. I trimmed the outside corners as well on both the blue and on the white. And there wasn't really any need to, because on the half square triangles you do point to point. If we do point to point on the blue on the pieced ones, it'll be easier to match up the points when you're sewing it all together. So on the second one that I haven't sewn yet, you're going to have a strip, and rather than trimming it to the template and cutting the ends off, I recommend cutting the strip to the instructions, laying your 45-degree angle on the end of your strip with the point at the point of your fabric, and trimming off that corner and leaving the point, because that's going to be the point that will match up with the white when you sew the whole block together. Now on this one, on the red, because we're only sewing one edge to an angle on the blue, I would just trim the angle on the corner that's going to match up with that blue angle. So when you sew it together, I would start at the straight end and sew down, and that will give you your 1/4 inch and have that little angle nest in, and then it will be ready to go on to the white half. And the white half would not have the corners trimmed if we go by what I'm recommending. It's an option, you certainly can, but it's not necessary to cut those corners as well. So once you get your center piece made and then your two pieced half square triangles, then it's time to sew the 3 rows together and make sure you follow the orientation of the points to make sure it makes that star all the way around and the star in the center, and then sew your rows together and you'll have a complete measure for measure block. And we're up to month 11. We have one more block to make, and then we'll be setting this complete top together soon after the first of the year. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next month.